What's up, guys? It's Eric from Yokohama Skateboards, and today we're going to be doing a trick tip that's kind of similar to that, but I'm actually going to land it. So today we're talking about the nose grab back 360, and we're going to be doing it over here on coping, out of coping, so kind of launching out. A lot of people call them the Canadian flyouts. That's you learn them as little kids. I did anyways from here because you can get some speed, hit the coping, and get some air. So today I'm going to break down everything that I know that works for me to do the nose grab, backside 360, and roll away. So let's get into the video. All right, so the first step is doing that pretty much to how to get air out of the coping. So for me, what I do is at this park, at Chino Hill Skate Park, we have a really good runway. So I'll get speed right there, go down the roll-in, and aim for the coping with a good good amount of speed. And right when my front wheels hit right here, it's almost like a bonk. It's not really an ollie. I'll lift up a little, but I'm not smacking my tail on the quarter pipe. So it's like a little lift up. And honestly, it feels like the coping does all the work. So you come in with the momentum and speed, bonk, and you'll get a little bit of air just when you're first learning. You don't need to grab it at first. Just get comfortable with coming out of the quarter pipe, landing on your board. And as you kind of get more comfortable at it, you can get more speed. And what I like to do is kind of come out, and right when I bonk it, I push forward, almost like I'm doing an ollie without hitting my tail down, like almost an ollie in the air, and I'll push it forward and kind of tweak it out a little bit because I can get a little higher. So that's number one. So you want to make sure you get really comfortable with airing out of the coping to a flat surface, just getting right for that impact, and also make sure you're kind of braced for the momentum that you'll have, because you'll be going a little faster than kind of when you started, and you're going to be pushed forward. So whenever I'm doing any of the tricks where I'm coming out of the coping, I kind of change my center of gravity. Instead of kind of on my back to a little bit over both knees, and I kind of push forward a little. So once I hit, I'm not going to slide back, or I'm not too forward where I might wheel bite and then fly forward as well. So it's getting that nice happy medium, like sweet spot of kind of bracing yourself. So the next part right now is I'll demonstrate a 180. So I'm going to be doing a backside 180, and we're going to want to get those down just to get comfortable spinning. And I'll do one right here in the next clip, and I'll kind of break down my process on what I'm doing as I'm in the air and turning my body and keeping my board under me. But right now, we're just going to do the 180 without the grab. So it's not going to be as high as when I grab the board, and I'll show you how to prepare to grab the board as well. All right, so there's the 180 without grabbing. So you don't have to boost it too high if you're just starting out to get comfortable with it. So what I do is kind of same thing. I wait till my front wheels bonk off the coping. And for the backside 180, make sure you can do the backside 180 on flat ground before you jump into this, because it'll just give you kind of the basic feeling and the mechanics of doing it. So when I do that, once I hit, my head's not looking forward at that point. I'm kind of diagonal, and I'll kind of shift my eyes back and kind of put my shoulder, kind of thrust it to where I want to spin. So my eyes are looking this way, my shoulder's coming across, and naturally wherever your head and your eyes are moving, if you kind of just adjust your body a little bit differently than straight, you're going to move that direction. So yeah, it's pretty easy at first. It might feel uncomfortable if you're not good with your backside 180s, but just kind of look, and then I'm still looking this direction as I land. And then as you kind of get up after the impact, that's when I'll lift my head up and look this direction, which way I'm going. So yeah, that's kind of step two. Make sure you're comfortable with the backside 180 on flat ground, and then you can utilize it coming out of a quarter pipe. The next tip that I'm going to go through is we're gonna do that same motion, but I'm gonna grab it. So I'm gonna teach you how to grab your board, what works for me, and hopefully it works for you as well. All right, so the next part of this, I'm gonna be showing you how to do the 180, but also grabbing your nose. So let me demonstrate it real quick, and then I'll break it down for you. So here we go. All right, so there it is with the grab, the 180. So we're halfway there, but let me tell you how I'm doing the grab. So as I'm coming up the quarter pipe, remember I'm waiting for that little noise when my wheels bonk off the coping. But this time I'm leaning a little bit more forward, kind of my right arm is leaning a little bit more down, and I'm still trying to keep that center of gravity over the front of the board. So right when it pops up, instead of doing the 180, how I did it first without the grab, arms are up here, I'm coming across. This time I'm bending down a little bit. And why I'm bending down is the more you kind of bend down, the easier it is to grab the nose of your board. So if you're up here and you kind of air out, you're gonna have to bend down. You might have to try to do it later. And by the time you touch the board, your board's gonna be hitting the concrete or hitting the landing area. So right there, I'm coming up, doing a little bit of an air, and as I'm leaning forward, I'm reaching out for my board. So how I grab my board is pretty much 4 fingers on the underside of the nose and just my thumb right there. At first it might be kind of uncomfortable, and trust me, when you mess up, when you're doing a nose grab like this, sometimes you can scratch your thumb on the grip tape, which isn't too much fun, but I've done it a million times. And you just kind of get used to it. And after a while, you just find that spot. This is how it looks when I'm grabbing it. And so going up, just to recap, leaning forward, getting like adequate amount of speed where I'm gonna be able to get up into the air, lean forward and grab it. So you want to try these with a pretty good amount of speed or whatever you're comfortable with. Just don't go too slow, because you're not going to get as high and it's going to make it more difficult to learn this. So as I'm reaching down, grabbing the board, same thing that we broke down with the 180 without the grab, my eyes are shifted this way. So at this point, I'm turning my shoulder. They're not open anymore. I'm closing my shoulder off to this side, and then you'll land, same kind of deal. So for the next part, I'm gonna put it all together and show you what it looks like. I'll do it a couple times, and then I'll get into the breakdown of the full 360 and what to look out for, and honestly just what works for me. And you can kind of test it to see if it works with you, or if you find a new kind of thing that maybe I'm leaving out. Feel free to leave in the comments or DM us, and we'll try to tackle that subject as well. Sorry, it's early this morning. Haven't had my coffee yet. Enzo's drinking his right there. But yeah, so let me do a couple of them, and then I'll kind of do a step-by-step breakdown when putting all those processes together. All right, so there was a couple clips of me landing it. It took quite a bit of effort. It's been a while since I really put these ones down. I learned it when I was younger, and when we were thinking about a topic today, like wanted to do a grab trick, and this is one of my favorites to do. And I forgot like how much effort it really takes. Like I'm kind of out of breath here. I took a couple little slams. Enzo could show those, but yeah, it took some effort. So those are the clips. For those 3 clips of landing it, it probably took a lot more tries just for me to commit. So what's cool about this trick, so when you're coming up, you're reaching down, you're grabbing the board, you're spinning. Right about that moment around here, you could tell whether if you're spinning fast enough, if you're high enough, where it's gonna be good. For me, a good way to bail out is I'll just grab the board out of the air and just kind of run it out. Brace myself to run it out, bend my knees and run it out. Or another thing you kind of want to look out for is don't try the spin. You know you're not gonna do it and throw your board straight down, because then you might land like that backwards. The board's gonna shoot out. You might hurt your knee, fall. That's one thing to look out. If anything, if you feel that it's not gonna come around, what I used to do is, I think I might even had a clip today doing it, kind of just throw it away. Get the board away from you, because if I'm gonna fall, I don't need an extra element to hurt me. I don't need the board under me, or I don't want to re-land on the board and then really be in some danger. But so let's break down what happened when I was landing them. So coming down, just like I said, that little bonk. And so I noticed something when I was breaking it down to where I was doing it. I'm actually reaching down right about the time that this little bonk. I'm not waiting for it, almost like kind of like a little premature. I already have my hand going down as that bonk. It bonks up, and then I start the spin. And the spin process for the 360 is like the 180, but you're not just gonna hold it for a second. So I'm gonna look over my left shoulder because I'm goofy and I'm gonna be spinning this way. If you're regular, you're gonna be looking over your right shoulder and spinning that way for backside for you. So as I'm coming up, right when I feel it in my hand, I'm already looking this way, like kind of diagonal from where my body is. And I'm gonna hold that, continue to, and what I do with this shoulder is I'm putting this one back, looking over it, and this shoulder is where the momentum is gonna be coming from. So I'm kind of pushing this shoulder out and tucking the board under me as well. So that's what's gonna get me around the full 360 degrees. So coming down, bonk, grab it, straight looking now. So when you're in the air on this trick, I'm already looking at where I just launched from. And then the momentum's gonna carry you. And right about here, I'm whipping that shoulder around and then landing. So I know the 3 clips of me landing it, they're kind of all a little bit different. It's partially because I haven't done this trick in a long time, and that, you know, there's a lot of variables in this with the spin, the grab. Sometimes I'm grabbing it earlier, sometimes I'm grabbing it later, sometimes I'm getting higher and doing the rotation, sometimes I'm lower doing the rotation, and sometimes like I'm just kind of like almost dropping it right before I land, and other times I'm spinning and I'm already full control, and that's a pretty smooth process. But yeah, that's my breakdown on it. Hopefully the tips I gave you can help you, but just as like kind of a disclaimer, try this trick with a helmet on. I didn't wear a helmet today. I should have. Me and Enzo were talking about that. Like, I'm getting older, and some of these slams, it may not look like it on the clips of me bailing, but my body can't take it. I should have wore a helmet today just because I haven't done this trick in so long. You always just want to be prepared. So especially if you already know this trick and you're relearning it, or if you're coming at it first time, wear a helmet, maybe some elbow pads, because when I was falling, I'm kind of falling, I'm trying to roll out and close to hitting my elbow a couple times. But yeah, that's gonna be the backside 360 nose grab.
Hey guys, thanks for watching. Remember to like and subscribe. We have new videos coming out every week. And if you have any requests for any other future videos, you know where to find us.